It is said that Sun Wukong's rampage caused the heavenly soldiers and generals to retreat in defeat, greatly troubling the Jade Emperor. At this time, Guanyin Bodhisattva arrived and, upon learning of the situation, instructed her disciple Huiyan to descend to the mortal realm to assist in the battle. Huiyan, wielding an iron staff, arrived at the foot of the mountain of flowers and fruits and asked, "Who is the great sage equal to heaven?" Sun Wukong responded, "I am." "And who might you be?" Huiyan replied, "I am Huiyan, the second prince of Li Tianwang and the disciple of Guanyin Bodhisattva. I have come specifically to capture you." Sun Wukong said, "Stop boasting and take a hit from my staff first," and swung his staff. Huiyan met the blow with his own staff, and the two began to battle fiercely halfway up the mountain. After fighting for 50 or 60 rounds, Huiyan's arms grew sore and numb, and he feigned defeat and retreated. Sun Wukong did not pursue but stood on the mountain laughing heartily. Huiyan returned defeated to the heavenly court, leaving the Jade Emperor even more flustered. After a moment of contemplation, Guanyin Bodhisattva joined her palms and said, "Your Majesty, allow me to recommend a deity who can capture this monkey." The Jade Emperor hurriedly asked, "Who might that be?" Guanyin replied, "Your Majesty, it is Shen, the true lord of Guanjiangu." The Jade Emperor then dispatched the great Force Ghost King to the mortal realm. Arriving at the temple of Shen at Guanjiangu, he delivered the imperial decree, instructing Shen to eliminate Sun Wukong. Success would be met with promotion and rewards. Shen exclaimed with joy, "I will mobilize my troops immediately." Shen led his 6 brothers from Meishan, Generals Kong, Zhang, Yao, and Li, as well as Generals Wuzhishan and Jian, and mobilized his divine army. Riding on eagles and leading hunting dogs, they rode the fierce winds across the eastern ocean, straight to the mountain of flowers and fruits. Upon arrival at the mountain of flowers and fruits, Shen ordered his subordinates to surround the mountain and went alone to the water curtain cave. Seeing a flag with the words, "Great Sage equal to heaven," he sneered, "What kind of ability does this troublemaking monkey have to dare call himself the Great Sage?" and called for a battle. Sun Wukong, wearing a purple golden crown and a golden armor, stepped out of the cave. With his golden cudgel in hand, he asked, "Who dares to challenge me?" Shen shouted, "I am the Jade Emperor's nephew, appointed as the divine king of wise mercy, Shen. I have come by decree to capture you." Sun Wukong chuckled and said, "I remember the Jade Emperor's sister descended to the mortal realm and bore a son with Yang Jun, who once split a mountain to rescue his mother. Are you that son?" Shen flew into a rage and brandished his 3-pointed double-edged spear. Sun Wukong dodged and countered with his golden cudgel. The two fought for more than 300 rounds, with neither gaining the upper hand. Shen unleashed his divine power, transforming into a giant with a height of 10,000 feet, green-faced with fangs, crimson hair, and wielding a 3-pointed double-edged spear, resembling the peak of Wuzhishan mountain, fiercely attacking Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong also utilized his magical abilities, transforming into a giant of equal size, wielding his cudgel like a pillar supporting the heavens, and resisting Shen. Seizing the opportunity, Shen's 6 brothers led the troops to charge outside the water curtain cave. Unfortunately, the monkey soldiers and generals could not withstand the onslaught and fled in all directions. As Sun Wukong was locked in battle with Shen, he suddenly saw the monkey army retreating and couldn't help but feel panicked. He put away his magical appearance and hastily fled. He ran all the way to the entrance of the water curtain cave and ran into Shen's 6 brothers, who blocked his path and shouted, "Where do you think you're going, monkey?" Sun Wukong panicked and hid his golden cudgel in his ear, transforming himself into a sparrow, and flew onto the treetops. The 6 brothers couldn't find Sun Wukong and shouted, "The monkey demon has escaped." Just as they were shouting, Shen arrived. With his keen eyes, he saw through Sun Wukong's sparrow disguise and transformed into a sparrow hawk, spreading his wings and flying over to catch Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong hurriedly transformed into a large cormorant and flew into the sky. Shen transformed into a large sea crane and soared into the clouds to capture him. Sun Wukong then transformed into a fish and dived into the stream. Erlangshan chased to the edge of the stream but couldn't find Sun Wukong. He thought to himself, this monkey must have turned into a fish or shrimp and dived into the water. I'll transform and catch him. So, he transformed into a fish hawk and flew over the surface of the water. As Sun Wukong swam downstream, he spotted the fish hawk and thought to himself, that hawk must be Erlangshan in disguise, waiting for me up there. I must hurry and flee. He swiftly turned and splashed water before making his escape. Erlangshan saw this and thought, why did that fish turn back as soon as it saw me? It must be the monkey's doing. He caught up and pecked at Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong quickly transformed into a water snake and slithered onto the shore, then hid among the grass. Erlangshan transformed into a gray crane with long iron-like beaks, ready to catch the water snake. The water snake jumped and transformed into a pheasant, pretending to be foolish, standing on the edge of the brook. Erlangshan saw this clearly and revealed his true form, pulling out a slingshot, aiming, and shooting a stone at Sun Wukong. Seizing the opportunity, Sun Wukong rolled down the mountainside, laid flat on the ground, and transformed into a small temple. His mouth became the temple gate, his teeth became the door panels, and his eyes became the window frames. Only his tail was difficult to hide, so he stood it up behind him, turning it into a flagpole. Erlangshan arrived at the foot of the cliff and saw the small temple. He laughed, whoever heard of a temple with a flagpole behind it? It must be the monkey's mischief. Let me smash the window frames first and then kick down the door. Sun Wukong, upon hearing this, panicked, this is serious. If he breaks my teeth and smashes my eyes, what should I do? He quickly jumped into the air and disappeared. Unable to find Sun Wukong, Erlangshan flew into the sky, where he encountered Li Tianwang and Neza. Li Tianwang held up the demon-slaying mirror, and with a sweep around, chuckled, "True Lord, hurry after him. That monkey is heading for your domain at Guangjiangku." Erlangshan hurriedly pursued. Meanwhile, Sun Wukong arrived at Guangjiangku, disguised as Erlangshan, and entered the temple. The ghost officials, seeing Erlangyi arrive, bowed respectfully to welcome him. Sun Wukong sat in the middle and examined the incense offerings, requests for sons from Zhao Jia, wishes for recovery from illness from Qian Bing. While Sun Wukong was checking, Erlangshan burst into the temple. The ghost officials were puzzled, why has another Erlangyi come? Sun Wukong revealed his true form and laughed, "Erlangshan, your temple is now surnamed Sun." Erlangshan flew into a rage and raised his sword, and Sun Wukong grabbed his staff to counter. They argued and fought, eventually exiting the temple. Battling as they flew through the air, they returned to the mountain of flowers and fruits. The 6 brothers from Myishan had been waiting and rushed forward. Meanwhile, the Jade Emperor grew impatient in the heavenly court and went with the immortals to the southern gate to observe the battle. They saw the divine nets laid out, trapping Sun Wukong in the center, and the fight becoming increasingly intense. Taisheng Laojun took a bracelet from his sleeve and said, "This weapon is called the Vajra bracelet. It's my treasured weapon for self-defense and can aid Erlangshan." With that, he threw the bracelet down from the gate of heaven.